What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Straight Facts show. That's my name is Mr. Straight Facts. Today, as I get that out of the way, clear my throat. I didn't see a lot of news that caught my eye today, because again, the day was that day, which I'm not going to call ex-President's Day. I can think about President Obama was in the news a lot today, so I'll deal with that as far as President's Day goes. And it was a lot of fun to see him at the basketball game and catching the ball. That was something light and airy to talk about. So I was like, that's cool. All right, but getting back to the most important stuff that we should never forget again is the survivors of the Epstein files, or Epstein sex trafficking. I wanted to say something worse than that, but Anyway, I realized something today, that I saw one of the social media content creators come on to her page and apologize to the MAGA conspiracy theorists for having it right about the Epstein survivors. And as I thought about that, I started to think, wait a minute. They had a lot wrong, but they had some right. But how did they even know this information? Because you'll hear, I think it was Marjorie Taylor Greene that came out in some podcast or another, trying to save her, whatever she has left of a career in this political world, to say that those Republicans, MAGA, the real Republicans who cared, were always worried about these Epstein files, or these women being gone through sex trafficking, raped and so forth, and pedophiles and all that. They knew about it more than we knew about it, meaning Democrats or liberals, only because they believed in QAnon. See, QAnon was the one giving them this information. And so they were on that QAnon tip, which was literally saying, Jewish space lasers, as well as, somebody was at some pizzeria in the basement, had children in it, and a guy brought a weapon to the same place that they mentioned, and there wasn't any babies. There wasn't even a fucking basement. So that made us believe that, hey, wait a minute, this is not real. And how are you saying it's real? Because everything you're doing is leading to a dead end. So yeah, we didn't believe in it as liberals and Democrats, not because we didn't want to believe in it. It's because when we went down the rabbit hole that you guys were talking about, we ran into dead ends. And even you did as well, but you kept believing in something that you didn't see. And we didn't have access, because remember, these MAGA people was on QAnon. They were going on websites that weren't accessible to average people. They were getting told by their friends, there's going to be a code sent at this day, and go into these dark channels and get this code and open up this and read this in the paper and take this code. And I was like, what? This sounds crazy as shit. So we didn't have access to the stuff that they were feeding them. And who was QAnon? Who was QAnon? That's what I want to know, right? Because if you realize, QAnon started when Donald Trump started coming into the fray. The last QAnon message sent was after Donald Trump, the December 15th or whatever, after he had lost the election, was the last QAnon message sent. So only when he was in the fray, and right when he got finished with his presidency in December, he had lost. He had only a month or so before he got out of the White House, and there was QAnon started around Trump and it ended when Trump ended his first presidency. It's strange how that's the only time it worked. They said that they were like in the deep state, they were inside the White House getting this information. And that's how these QAnon people, MAGA people, were getting this information about what was behind the scenes of these things happening to children. None of us had access to it. And if we search facts, it led us to a dead end. They were getting information, and this is my assumption. Could be wrong. But there's too many coincidences in the Donald Trump world. QAnon starts around him. It ends once he gets out of office. It lets information out that we now find out in the Epstein files that only people around Jeffrey Epstein, a la Donald Trump, a la his Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnik, all of them, they knew these things to be true. Donald Trump in 2006 calls up the police chief and says he knew all this shit was going on. How would you know? Unless you was in on it, bro. This was your homie. And you calling out and telling them, yeah, good you caught him because I knew. Well, he was your homie. And you hadn't kicked him out of your life whatsoever. In fact, 2016, 17, something like that, he was at Mar-a-Lago hanging out with you. So, I mean, it's just bullshit. 100% bullshit. And for anybody to be still going down this path of thinking that Donald Trump and his minions weren't the ones feeding MAGA the shit that they were doing to become tighter to Donald Trump. He was saying all this stuff like he does with projection toward Democrats, which made them hate us. And he knew what would make them hate us. The shit that he did with Epstein would make them hate Democrats if he pushed it on Democrats. That's Donald Trump's MO. Everything he's doing, say somebody else is doing it. And it's crazy how these documents come out. It's all these Republicans. Howard Lutnik, Donald Trump, Steve Bannon. All these people are in Donald Trump's realm, Jeffrey Epstein's realm. Not only are they in it, they are tight with him. They got hundreds of emails, if not thousands of mentions. Donald Trump, 30-something thousand mentions, up to some people have looked up and found over 1 million mentions. And if this huge pedophile sex trafficking ring was all Democrats, why in the fuck all you got is Clinton that you know of? And even in then, you can't find any email literally saying him going back and forth like Donald Trump is. You have no pictures of drawing prepubescent girls or a girl with their pubic hair being Donald Trump's signature. You don't see that for Clinton. I'm not abiding by Clinton. I want to see his testimony too. I'm just saying they had so much hate for Clinton because they were fed all this information behind the scenes, which we didn't get to see because we weren't in this QAnon world. That's why they hated Democrats. We couldn't understand. Why did they hate Democrats so much? What did we do to them? What did Obama do to them? He was nothing but love and positivity. But little do we know, behind the scenes in these dark areas, they were literally writing all kinds of lies and bullshit that these people thought that they were getting secret information that the rest of the world did not know. And somehow they were on the in and we were the ones on the out. And they believed in all this mess when we thought they were batshit crazy. But they were getting it from the source. The actual people who were doing these things and saying this country would hate to know what us elite Anglo-Saxons are doing, these W.A.S.P, what we're doing. You would hate to know what we're doing. So we're going to push it toward Democrats and get half the country riled up. But the rest of the country can't even find this information anywhere. They're going to think these people are batshit crazy. Huge division. Who is behind QAnon? We don't know. But we do know who was behind the rise of the division. Outside of Donald Trump, it was Steve Bannon. He's still doing it. Donald Trump's going to be president, third term. Just watch and see the orchestrator behind the scenes, getting certain white people and MAGA riled up on some bullshit. Just like on the opposite end of the spectrum, this man was playing both ends of it. He was tight as fuck with Jeffrey Epstein. He literally called the man a god. Jeffrey Epstein said, nah, I don't consider myself a god. Wink, wink. And Steve Bannon said, I do. This is the guy that had MAGA pissed off about pedophiles and we got to get him. And at the same time, he's getting paid off by the man that they want to get and being his best buddy. Not only being his best buddy, orchestrating a comeback for the pedophile. Telling him that he's not the monster people think he is. Asking him in one of the interviews, are you a monster? Are you a devil? Or some shit like that. I don't think of myself like that. Jeffrey Epstein says. And in the emails, he's going to give Jeffrey Epstein back his life. Just like he helped Donald Trump, the pedophile in chief, become president not once but twice by getting white people, MAGA people of different races, colors, and creeds to hate the rest of America because they want to call the rest of America the ones supporting pedophiles and baby killers and eaters and all this shit and reptilian people and Jewish space laser, batshit crazy stuff. All that mixed and mingled in. Why would you think that we would believe in what they were talking about when you had people like Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about Jewish space lasers? Anything else that came out of her mouth could have been actually factual. We wouldn't believe it. Like, it's the same trick that's talking about there's a space laser up there being orchestrated by a Jewish person. How is it working? Marjorie Taylor Greene, give us an understanding how this laser works. It just shoots fire at people. How does it work? Where is it at? Where's the geolocation? Give us longitude and latitude. You know so much. Let's hear it so that we can verify it. They never could verify shit. Thus, looking crazy. That is the plan of Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, right? And his minions. Roger Stone, all of them came together, got these white nationalist organizations and everything to make up the most batshit crazy stuff to get their people to believe it, to divide the country. And now many Republicans are coming out mad and saying, we're not angry enough. And turns out many of them are legitimately pissed off and angry at the pedophile ring. But for some odd reason, they can't see Trump being one of them. Even though all of this shit came about and the knowledge of all this shit came about under Donald Trump. We didn't know nothing about any of this until QAnon. The case of Jeffrey Epstein started in 2006, ended in 2008, whatever. That was under a Bush presidency. It was held in Florida. It was hid by, his lawyer, the judge, and Epstein's lawyer, the prosecutor, then the judge. It was all hidden by them. So America didn't get a chance to see it unless you lived in Florida. It wasn't like a huge topic for average American citizens. It made national, local news, but nationally, you didn't know nothing about the case. This was all pushed out to divide the country, which Bannon orchestrated, Donald Trump orchestrated, Roger Stone orchestrated. Proud Boys were part of the orchestration. And this country is divided only because those hateful, white, Anglo-Saxon predators decided to destroy this country so that they could rise again. So that mediocre white man can feel important and centered again. And that's what they have accomplished. We have people in positions and power that are subpar humans. Subpar. Running this country. Scary. And the rest of the world must know the weakness. Do you understand how compromised we are? That Putin knows all the dirt that Donald Trump has done? We know now. We have to know. The reason why he hasn't fucked with that dude is because he knows about the ring. He knows about the sex trafficking ring. He knows it. They pulled women from all over the fucking world. Russia, I know, is one of them. And you think that man doesn't know what happens to the prostitutes and children in his country the way he runs it? Of course he does. He's probably the one selling them. When they came to the country, of course they wanted their affliction, whatever the shit they do. Of course he wanted them. He went to Russia and stayed in Russia. Of course he wanted to have these young women in his hotel rooms. All of them. Donald Trump, I would not put it past Donald Trump Jr. I would not put it past any of them, even his daughters or daughter. I don't know about Tiffany, but the other daughter, I don't put it past her. There's been stories about her knowing about this as well in these Epstein files that the daughter knew. And Don Jr. is in on some of these emails too. I don't put it past them. I can't prove in a court of law, but I don't trust these people whatsoever. And I don't understand how you would. When you see, ain't even fucking smoke signals. This shit's like a 12-alarm fucking fire. And they're all with gasoline in their hands, accelerants, and matches. And we're supposed to sit there and look at them like there's a fire right over there, and you got all the utensils to set the bitch. I'm supposed to walk past you. Everything you do is crooked. You had a nonprofit that you were stealing money from, buying yourself personal shit. You robbed New York of hundreds of millions of dollars. They let you get away with that shit. You grab women by the pussies. They let you get rid of that, of 30 women that you abused and touched their bodies. 13-year-old says you raped her. They let you get away with that shit. 14-year-old says you raped her. They let you get away with that shit. You write a letter talking about you're an enigma and write a pubescent body with your name as a vagina and shit, and you say, oh, it wasn't me. Who the fuck else was it? It's crazy. Where there's smoke, there's fucking fire. And there's a lot of fire around that family. And one of the things I realize, if these MAGA people who've been fed this information, mixed in with a lot of batshit crazy stuff and a lot of stuff that's turning out to be true in these Epstein files, if they truly had a heart and believed in these, in finding the people who are doing this to these women, and they have been angry this entire time, wanting to hurt the people who they thought was the Clintons. But if they find out, and when they find out, I know if, when they find out that the person that they have been kissing the orange ass of is one of the people doing this and have been doing this to children, when they find that out, some of them are going to take their own life because they literally think that they are trying to protect somebody. They are angry. And when they find out they have been giving power to the very man that has been accused of beating a 13-year-old in the face with his closed or open hand fist for Donald Trump, had a little child do fellatio on him, and she bit him, and then he hit her, and she runs out of the room. He leaves at 1 or 2. These are shits written in these damn files. When they finally wake the fuck up, some of them jumping off bridges. If they truly believed in the bullshit they've been saying, that I care, really? You care. I was the first one. We were the first one to know. Democrats weren't. Okay. Now that you find out that the person you was kissing the ass of is one of the people who's been accused not once, not twice, not 3 times, more than that, on top of before you elected him the first time, said he liked to grab women by the pussies, which is his MO. in these documents talking about him putting his finger up children to figure out whether they're the prices of who they should sell them to. All that shit's assumptions. These are accusations. I get it. But how many fucking accusations do you need to finally equal up to a possibility? You sitting there like, there's no proof. These are all not the same people. And these allegations span from like 1970. 50 years of this man doing crazy shit. And you guys are like, oh, it can't be him. You don't give a fuck about these women. You just want an argument to beat onto the Democrats. We want to win the Democrats. We want to win the Democrats. So you say this bullshit. But now you sit here and talk about, oh, we knew ahead of time. Well, it's kind of crazy how the person that you supported, that you gave all this power to, is in these documents more than anybody else other than Jeffrey Epstein. He's accused of doing the same things as Jeffrey Epstein. He's accused of sucking somebody's penis in here. Bubba. Don't know who that is. Some people say it's an animal. Some people said it was Clinton, but his brother said it wasn't Clinton. It was somebody else. But still, all these allegations, and none of them equal anything to you. But you know what's so crazy? These are the same people when Joe Biden was in office saw him kiss his grandson on the forehead, a picture, at his son and the kid's father funeral. And these same pieces of shit human being posted that picture all over Facebook and other apps, calling President Biden a pedophile. All they needed was one picture of him kissing the top of the head of a child. And they were okay with no other evidence to call this man a pedophile. No, it didn't matter where he was at. He was all up in the open around other people in Sunday best outfits, right in front of a fucking casket. And these bitches literally said he was a pedophile for that picture. But you got files upon files saying that Donald Trump took the virginity of a 14-year-old girl who was tied up, saying that Donald Trump actually had sex with a 13-year-old, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 fucking times, she says. He beats one of them who bites his penis. And you want to sit here and tell us that Joe Biden is a definite pedophile in your eyes. But the man who has women literally coming out saying when they were children, they had sex with Donald Trump. We've had MAGA people literally say, even Megyn Kelly, 14, 15, 16. These was young girls. They weren't pedophiles. They weren't a pedophile, 14, 15. Say what? She literally, I would check on her children, and I would check to see if she has dated somebody who's 14, 15, and 16 years old, because she doesn't consider that pedophilia. So I would really look into her. Because why would you say that unless that same standard applies to you? You literally probably have dated a 14, 15, 16-year-old at your grown-ass age, and you don't think it's... Like I said, you need to check these people. Because I want to say something else about this that people, I don't think, really paid attention to. We say stuff, we don't really pay attention to what's going on. We see it. I want to speak to white people right now. No disrespect. Just want average white people right now, if you're listening. Do you understand you were the majority victim in this? Your children were the majority victim in this. You don't hear me. These white Anglo-Saxon white people, because they were rich and powerful, gave 2 shits about your white ass. about you being white because you weren't in their class. They attacked you and they want your vote, and they were stealing your babies. They were having fellatio and sex with your babies. They were stealing your babies. And you still vote for these fuckers? I don't understand it. These weren't people of color. These weren't immigrants stealing your children. These weren't immigrants killing your babies. These were white Anglo-Saxon males who think they're above you because they got money in the bank. They think they're a different class. They were not only having sex with your babies, they were breeding them like dogs. And if they didn't come out right with the right color eyes, blue-eyed, blonde hair, some of them were sacrificed, thrown over into the waters. This is shit they said in there. They ain't my fucking decision of this. I didn't make this up. This is in the files. You can find them. My point is this. This should join us together. This should unite us. This should let us know that they thought not only about race, they hated us. There's emails in this thing that said they didn't want no niggas coming to Epstein Islands. Don't bring any niggas here. They said niggas like a bunch of fucking times. But we weren't alone. We got spared many a times because they didn't want us there. Thank God. But they wanted your kids. And they bought them, stole them. And don't get it twisted. Some of you bastards sold your kids to them. Yeah. Some of you evil fucks sold your kids to these people for money, closeness to power. Yeah, there's some demons out there. You may not have done something with the child, but you took money to sell your child. We know this is real. I ain't trying to spare nobody. I'm telling facts. I'm here for the victims. Fuck all the rest of the people. You associated yourself, these people did, with these demons. Knowing after it had been public that these people had done what they had done. You was fine with it. Howard Lutnik, he was a creep. Just crazy. I didn't want to talk to him. Me and my wife left. Oh, it's crazy how. And then he said, I've done no business with him, no philanthropy, no nothing. He was just gross. Then under oath, were you on a ship, or he said boat, but reality, yacht. Were you on a yacht with this man? Were you on a yacht and went to Epstein Island and worked with him in any way? Well, yeah. I after looking at the files, obviously, yeah, I was on a boat on vacation with my kids and my nannies. You can remember your nannies? Because in the documentation, don't say nothing about nannies with you. It just has, 5 o'clock meeting. But you remembered that. But days before, oh, he was gross. Never, ever. No, in the interview on the news channel thing, a podcast it was. The person was gross. We could tell you was lying by the way you recanted that stupid ass story. We walked 6 or 7 feet right to my house because I'm right next door to him. Did he tell you he bought that house, I think, from Epstein for $10 or some shit? He bought some house from Jeffrey Epstein for $10 and sold it for millions. Didn't tell you all this. Didn't tell you that he was in business. Oh, no philanthropy, no business meetings with him. No, I didn't do anything with him. Turns out he did business with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Was in business with him. 2016, 17, something like that, way after he met him and thought it was gross to have a massage table in the middle of the house. Now we know he probably had massages, because if it was gross, you wouldn't have came back like you said. But instead, we can count on the fact that you lied about the other shit. More than likely, you've been in hotels rooms with girls that are probably underage. You've probably been in there with the massage table, because we can't trust a fucking word that comes out of his mouth. I mean, it would have been just so simple to just tell the truth. I was in business with the man. You know, it is what it is. I got a business opportunity. I could invest 10 million and get 60 million back. Who wouldn't do that? I don't necessarily like his ethics or anything like that, what he did in his past. I don't condone that. But I mean, if you was getting $10 million to make it into 60 over a good 6 months and it actually happened, I mean, wouldn't you? Most people would. Now, it may sound opportunistic and gross, but it's fucking true. I can understand that. I'd hate it, but I can understand it. But to lie, and for us to find out that you lied, not a little bit, but drastically, within less than a month, we find out that you've lied drastically. And now you want us to trust you. And even when you said you have met with him and had a 1 hour lunch with him, you didn't tell us you was in business with him. We found that out later. Boy, these people. These people. He didn't tell nobody anything. Just left everybody hanging. And then we're supposed to trust him. He should be gone. Here's the crazy part. In Europe, all these people, whether it be Mandelson, whether it be Prince Andrew, others, and the Sultan, the guy's name is Sultan something, whatever, heads a huge business, I guess, in the Middle East. All of these people have been let go or pushed out of their positions for just associating with this pedophile and this trafficking, sex trafficking ring. Lutnik ain't going nowhere. Why? Because he's the right-hand man to the other criminal that should be let go. That's the president. You can't say all of these people were connected to him and they have less emails than Donald Trump. They have less mentions than Donald Trump, and they're all gone, but you got this orange pedophile in chief still in position. You got Clinton mentioning this shit 1/1,000,000th of a time of Donald Trump, and you want him to be in front of you to testify. I agree. Let's testify, baby. Tell us what's going on. Show the picture. What's going on in this picture, Clinton? Are these old people, young people? They got take the little pixelation off. Oh, that woman's like in her 40s. That woman's in her whatever. That girl's questionable. Who the fuck is she, Clinton? Love it. Not behind the scenes. You do that shit in front of the public. The fuck are you doing behind the scenes for? This is why I don't trust Republicans. You want us to find out through your word, which we can't fucking trust. You think a pedophile is a great president. Why the fuck am I gonna listen to you? So why don't you put him out in front of the public and you ask those questions? You know why you won't ask those questions in public? You're too scared for everybody to find out the truth at the same time you do. You can't spin it fast enough, then it will be in public eye. You can't spin it is the problem. America should demand that Clinton, Hillary, and Bill both be in the public eye when they do these things. They should be under the scrutiny of all Americans. We get tired of shit being hidden from us. We don't want to read no fucking redacted documents that you fuckers are going to redact just so that we don't get to see what the fuck you asked them and what answer came out, because Donald Trump's ass just might get called out by these people. Because if you know the history of these people, Donald Trump and Bill Clinton were boys. There's pictures of them at fucking like barbecues or some shit. Donald Trump in some ugly ass white shorts with a fucking red hat on, looking like fucking Captain Stubing or some bullshit. We know they hung out. We know they took donations from Trump. Ask those fucking questions out in the public. Fuck all that behind the scenes shit. We don't want no more behind the scenes bullshit from none of y'all. Democrats, independent, ain't shit behind the scenes. Everything in front. We don't trust none of y'all bitches enough to be behind the scenes to come and tell us shit. Fuck your little, I want to tell you, no, I don't give a fuck about what you want to tell me. Show me the shit in person. We don't want to see y'all behind scenes. We can't trust you. Fuck a spin. I'm tired of spin. Give me the fucking facts. They talk about spin like it's a fucking game. These are lives at stake. Fuck your spin. Get that shit out of politics. Fuck spinning. Give it to us straight. No chaser. Fuck y'all doing? It's in a fucking game. Tired of these people, man. This politics shit and this gaming shit's got to stop. We get the facts straight. If we can't handle them, move the fuck out of the country. Only thing that should be behind the scenes is shit that has to deal with our national fucking security. We shouldn't know when bombs are going to go down. I get it. But shit that's got to do with American citizens being snatched up off the street as children and put into sex trafficking, that ain't shit you should be having behind the scenes. Out those bitches. In public. $100. That's the way I feel about it. And you can see I'm passionate about it because I'm getting tired of the bullshit. I'm getting tired of being fed shit. I don't want to hear a Democrat coming to me telling me, well, this is what we know behind the scenes and we looked at it. Fuck all that. I don't want to hear it from you. I want you to bring the person that you think this shit is a possibility. Bring them in front of us. Fuck your little scenario. Let us get our own scenario just based off the questions you ask. Tired of being spoon-fed your perspective. Coming out of rooms talking to the same person, and Democrats come out saying, well, this is something bad. And Republicans come out and say, we saw nothing. Fuck both y'all. Bring them out here and say it to us in our face. We'll determine what looks good or bad. Who's squirming? Who's telling the truth? That way you both get held accountable for what comes out of that meeting. And none of y'all can spin this shit to make yourself look better. We get tired of y'all covering up for yourselves. We didn't send you there to fuck the country up. We sent you to build it. This experiment's supposed to go better, not worse. And you guys getting offended, I'm getting tired of that shit. Grow some balls and get the fuck out of fucking position that you're in. You're in a position of power because we put you there. Stand up. Both of you, Democrats and Republicans, you shouldn't be scared of some orange dude that you could fart on and pass out. That dude can't even he can't even work his bowels right. And you scared of him, little punk ass. I never understood that shit. How you scared of a dude that can't even walk? Got cankles and shit. You could kick him in his knee and the bitch would die. Punk ass people. Man, why are these punk ass people running for office? How you leading something and playing the bitch move? Woman up, man up, stand up for what's right. Or get replaced. And that's what Americans should do, replace. These individuals who were harmed the most out of this were white kids. Which should tell white people who are poor how they fucking care about you. They do not. They only care about their own. Wealthy, higher class, they believe. These Anglo-Saxon, above all, they think that they created a master race and you don't belong in it. So wake the fuck up and realize they don't think of you any better than they think of black people or anybody else. They just need your vote to keep them in power. And once you wake the fuck up and stop voting for these dumbasses, your country will become a better country. Why don't you run for office? Good white people, run for office and get rid of these fucking people who think just because they're rich, they're better than you or anybody else for that matter. Can't solve a problem if you keep on electing the problem. Said what I said. I want you to know, again, like we talked earlier, Steve Bannon is the one who created a lot of this noise. And he's creating more noise about taking over presidencies and letting Donald Trump run a third term. Are we going to stand for that? We need to cancel Steve Bannon in the worst fucking way. Shut him down. I don't care what app he's on. We should bombard that shit until his app fucking falls the fuck apart. It is about time that the people decide, look, we don't want no more of your shit. We don't want to hear your fucking voice. You can talk all you want, but we're going to shut that shit down. Why? Because this man spews bullshit on purpose. He gets money from pedophiles just so he can fuck with the country. Just so he can destroy democracy. He's up here talking about having a third term against our democracy as if it's the thing to do. You hate America if you're trying to destroy democracy, because that's what America is. It is not about white Anglo-Saxon people. Fuck y'all. It is literally about all of us. And we need to get fed up with the bullshit and change it, or shut the fuck up and live in it. I'm not shutting the fuck up. This shit needs to change. Good people all over America need to stand the fuck up against these people. And these white Anglo-Saxon men that are worried about themselves becoming extinct or whatever the fuck, y'all need to become extinct. Because it's you that's causing this country to go backwards and go into hell where it should be going toward a heavenly place. Doing right by others, loving on others. Those are the things we should be caring about. We shouldn't be caring about your weak ass white self pissed off that the world's going to change because you're not the leader of it. This country is fucked because you let it for so long. And you were scared because a black man made this country feel good when none of you white dudes could do that. That's why you hated on Obama so much. He brought people together, and you guys can't do that because it's not in your spirit. It wasn't given to you by God. What was given to you by God was division. That's the only way you can win. Hate and division is the only thing that makes these white Anglo-Saxons powerful. Unity, they're thrown out the fucking window. That's what they're scared of. I mentioned something earlier today. And it was mentioning that we don't come together because each one of us has a different perspective of fear. What you're fearful of is what powers you. If you're scared of poverty, it powers you to work your ass off. If you're scared of anything, you try your best. These white men are scared of becoming not the center of fucking attention. And they are killing people and have been for centuries just so they can be scared of and centered. The moment we stop being scared of these fuckers, they become extinct. Their power diminishes. They're scared of that. Drastically scared. Why? Because empathy, sympathy, love is not in them. They don't want to be your best friend. They don't want to be your next door neighbor and love thy neighbor like thy love thyself. No. If they did, they have the most power. And what did they do with the power that to whom much is given, much is expected? What did they do with the power that you gave them, America? They fucked your kids. They didn't try to love on you. They didn't try to give you health care. They literally fucked your children. That's what they did with the power that you gave them. Now take it the fuck away, and they can't do it to your kids. It's fucking insane. Giving them power after they showed you what they would do with it. And look what they're doing to these Latin people and people of color. And these two white people that they killed in the streets. This is their power struggle. They want their power back. They don't want you liking Latin people. They don't want you liking their food. They don't want you liking black people in their food. They want you to crawl into this cave of whiteness, which was made to fuck up, and be fearful that these brown and black and others want your life. When in all honesty, they're pissed off that these people have come here and made a life. And they feel like they're dwindling. They're disappearing. Their power's going. Well, if you had done right by your power, nobody would be trying to take it in your eyes. if your evil and your hate and your division, once you have all this power, had disappeared and love and empathy and sympathy was a part of you, this world would be a better place. We wouldn't be caring about hierarchies at all, would we? They're so hateful, they won't even provide health care. These people are going out with spaceships and playing games and sending, journalists up in the sky for some fake ass accolade. Oh, we spend millions of dollars to spend this, put them in there. Now we're astronauts. Fuck all y'all. People down here can't eat. And you talking about going up in the sky and coming back down like that's some big fucking deal. But you can't help the poor. You can't provide health care. I want y'all to understand something. Do you understand? Here's the thing that kills me about all this. I want y'all to understand something. I did the research on healthcare in this country. This is why I say these people you gave power to, both Democrats and Republicans who haven't been figured out, they're worthless. Why do I say this? Because the numbers of how much it costs to have health care in this country right now, the healthcare system, is roughly a little over $5 trillion a year for healthcare in this country right now. Now, that is roughly about $15,000 per person in America. 300-something million people here, $15,000 per person every year. Now, that money is paid regardless if you have health care or not. Why? Because your ass will go to ER where you have to be taken care of, right? So our $15,000 is coming out of our insurance and we paying insurance and stuff like that if we have insurance. But those who don't, their $15,000 is going into what? It's going into the hospitals, the billing, all the different things they have to do, but they don't get charged for it. Our premiums go up to replace it. So your insurance continually goes up no matter what, because you're still paying for it. It's just that they're not paying for it, but you are. So regardless, if you look at the pool of American citizens, it's $15,000 for each one of us per year. A little bit over $5 trillion. We could literally give basic health care to all American citizens. Right? And the basic health care is everything. Like if you have diabetes, you get diagnosed with diabetes, being able to get that diagnosis, being able to get insulin and medication for lower costs and different things of that nature, those basic things, so that you could find out you have cancer when it's at stage 1, instead of just holding off because you're afraid to go because you can't afford nothing. And here you are at stage 5. Or stage 4, whatever it is, you're at stage 4 now. Why? Because you couldn't afford it at stage 1. And you was hoping it'd go away. Here's the thing though. We're still paying it. Nothing's free. So why do we argue over the fact of whether we pay it to prevent it or end up paying it on the back end to try and save somebody's life? If you do it to prevent it, you can stay in that $15,000 range. And unless actually, if we had healthcare, basic healthcare, it would literally cost us about $13,000. Not individually coming out of our pocket, the taxes that comes in, $13,000 per person. We would damn near save $2,000 a year per person in America if all of us had healthcare, basic healthcare that took care of those things. Right? And you can always purchase additional health care, just like you do it right now at your job or whatever. If your job offers health care in a different way, you can purchase $100 a month. We'll add on, let's say in this scenario of you being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, that would include additional things that, like if you had, when you have like diabetes, you can also go into a coma if you don't treat it. That's another process that they would have to deal being in the hospital for days on end or whatever it may be. Additional things added on that you can spend minimum $100 a month. $200 a month can give you premium care where you just go into any hospital anywhere. I mean, this shit is simple, people. But these billionaires and these politicians will have you thinking this shit is just fucking crazy and hard as hell. Why? Because they're getting paid by these people. And you think about it for a second. These politicians are being paid by insurance, health insurance lobbyists. They got a whole shit ton of money on the side to pay people to not give us health care. And here it is, this pile of cash for you not to vote on things that's going to help us. And you say the money's not there. How are they getting this extra cash? Sitting over here for you to go against everything that we need. You would think they'd be broke. But they got lobbyists, they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to stop things. They got other people that are writing bills and shit for these people to make our healthcare even more convoluted. And they get these people who pay them $1 million or so to pass it. So don't tell me there's not enough money for healthcare. Healthcare would be cheaper if we all had basic healthcare in this country. Cheaper. We would save about $2,000 just for us all being on basic healthcare, which means you don't ever have to worry about losing your fucking house. You don't have to worry about, you not having what you need. That's already taken care of. You walk into a hospital and they take care of you. You walk into whatever office, whatever, they take care of you. Now, if they have to keep you, you may have an additional, if you know that you have something or you've been diagnosed with something, you can purchase that other part and totally help you. It's too easy, people. Why have we spent fucking hundreds of years, at least 50 years when they was trying to do it? Why is it taking so long to do it? Because it's not about giving a fuck about us. It's about whether they're going to get the people who give them millions of dollars to keep making them rich. They say they're in to be of service. The only people they're serving is themselves. They know when the stocks are going to rise, basically, because of a bill they pass. They know not giving us full-on health care. They can tell us that, we don't have enough money. But it's strange enough, when we had a huge health scare in this country, we had enough money to take care of every human and pretty much had everybody sitting in their fucking house for 2 years. We could do that and not fall apart. The reason why we don't have health care is because people don't care. I'll say it again. The reason why we don't have health care is because people don't care. We're allowing these people to control our health. If I ask each and every one of you, if you saw a child sick, would you tell everybody, I don't want that kid? His mother or father couldn't afford health care. It's like, can't get no free health care for that baby. You would want to save that baby. Many of you, if you had to, if you could, if you do it, you donate the money. Or if you had some kind of skill as a nurse, you would offer the help for free. Because you would not want to see that baby die with something that you can provide just because their parents don't make enough money. So why the hell we got problems trying to figure out to give everybody basic health care so they can at least prevent issues? So that they can not have to worry about putting food on the table or buying their baby insulin. How cold-hearted does this fucking country have to be to sit here and really debate on whether to give health care to somebody so their kid can get insulin, or don't do it because I feel like I work too hard and I get health care from my job. You just need to get a job to do exactly what I do. How cold-hearted do you have to fucking be to literally think that way? When that job is nothing but a place that literally will fire you if AI can replace you. and you're caring only because you're not in that position. You're not caring because you're not in that position. But once you are, you're going to be the first one. Well, we can really, figure. If you don't have empathy in you, not until it hits you do you start to, oh shit, this is bad. But having empathy and sympathy, you don't need to be in the position. You can recognize it's bad just because you have a heart and you care. So I'm sick of saying that people saying we don't have, we wouldn't be having healthcare, we can't afford it. That's bullshit. Having healthcare for all is cheaper because you have to understand people who don't have healthcare, they just don't die in the streets. They go to the hospital. You're paying for it on the beginning, the front end or the back end. If a person who is sick waits until they get so sick that they have to go to the doctor even though they don't have health care, with that person being in care, let's say they got cancer, late stages, they're in that hospital for months. They ain't got no place to go. What do you think that $1.2 million while they sit in the hospital to die is paid for? They can't pay it, and they're going to die, so they ain't going to be able to pay it. Who the fuck you think it's coming out of? You. So why the hell are you worried about whether all it is whether you're going to pay it on the front end or the back end? You pay it on the front end, it's $13,000. You pay it on the back end, it could be $1.5 million. Who in the fuck will wait until a bill's $1.5 million when you can pay $13 to get it all done, said and done? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, why do people not see that having healthcare for all is cheaper for us all? And it doesn't cheapen your healthcare. Because there are going to always be people who can buy premium service on top of that. That's never going to stop. Just like anything else. You go to a restaurant. If it's a high 5-star restaurant, they may have a burger on there that's $35. You broke and you ain't got that much money, you can buy it. But if you want a steak, it may be $700. You can pay the $700 no matter what. When you go in, there's an array of things you can purchase, just like healthcare. If you can afford the basic, and that's already free for you, or it's actually paid through taxes and things of that nature, $13,000, you can purchase the higher end process if you choose. You can stay with the bottom half, the basic. But none of it is trash because the hospital has to take care of you no matter what. You just don't worry on whether you can feed your family or worry if you got to buy food or buy insulin. Why can't we take that off the table for American citizens? I thought we was the greatest country in the fucking world. Or is that bullshit too? Because right now it seems like bullshit. How are you the greatest country in the world and you can't even provide health care for the people who put all the money in this damn country to keep it running? But you can put money in the pockets of people who are stealing and raping your children and walk around like it ain't no fucking thing. Ugh, drives me nuts. Like Sunju Park. I want people who, she says, I think it's a she. Sorry, I don't know for sure. I can't tell. Is it Sunju? It doesn't tell me anything. That's why I hate rich peoples, because they care about themselves, not poor people. And I would ask you, not even ask you. It's just the fact of saying is like the hate part. I don't like them either. But I think, I'm going to put it this way, Sanju. I think if you were rich, you'd be a better person than these people. I think if you were rich, you would help people. It's not about not being rich. It's not about hating rich people. It's hating bad people that richness makes worse. Because I don't believe in my heart of hearts that if you got the money, Sanju, that you would do what they did. I think you would help people. Like the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. And for those who are given much, if they gave back like I believe you would, I wouldn't hate you because you were rich. I think we have attached the what they're making to whom the person is. And we need people who are making money to think about everybody else. Because not everybody else can get into this capitalistic system and thrive financially. I mean, like exponentially. But those who do should not be pieces of shit humans. We should not be funding these cabals and these evil ass people. And once we find that they are evil, we should collectively stop buying from them. Crush them. Keep them on that level of, you're not better than us, bro. We like your product, but trust me, I can go to another country and get that bitch somewhere else. But when they feel they got us by the, you know what, and we continue to do what they think we're going to do, they've already figured us out. Why do you think they study us? Too many of us in love with products and certain services that you're willing to still support people who may be harming children because you're so caught up with the Gucci, the Fendi, the whatever. You don't know who these people are. You don't know their value system towards you. But when you find out, that's when you should act and pull back, no matter what. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. Anybody in this room, good people, I believe if you had the finances, you would do right by people. You're not one of them. One of them cannot listen to what I say and stick around, because what I say is such a affront to them. They can't continue to listen to it. It's like, ooh, this guy is just like liking on people. Ugh. This person like is gullible. He believes in that love simp shit. They don't want to be around it. It sickens them. And that's something I want most people to pay attention to, because a lot of people are not studiers of human beings. One of the things you learn when you study a human, if you start saying good things around them and they disappear, you need to get rid of that person out of your life, because that person can't handle goodness around them. And they damn sure can't handle it when you're going through good shit around them. If they can't stick around in your good moments, then they shouldn't be around you in none of the moments, because they don't give a shit about you. They get jealous when you're happy. They don't want to support you when you got something good going. They don't want to buy your product when you decide to stop doing this one job and go out on your own. They don't want to support you because that's going to make you money. Those people around you, you need to get rid of them. And I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your loved one. You need to get away from them, because those people don't love you. Because if they did, they support you. Just saying. And I understand if it's something that you can't afford and your family may be able to afford, it's a whole different story. But if they ain't giving you moral support, if they ain't saying, girl, you do your thing, God got your back, baby, I got your back, honey, I got your back, son, I got your back. If they ain't saying that shit, you need to get away from them, because those people are killing you. They're not giving you life. They're trying to take it out of you. Jealousy is a demon you don't want to be around. I'm telling you. Oh, I see you being loco. She says, I'm poor. I give it till it hurts, because that's how I roll. And you're the type of person that should be given wealth, because we know if it was given, you'd give it back. You know, whether it be money, whether it be opportunity, whether it be free time because you have money. You guys are the types of people that if money was given, you would literally step up to the plate and make sure other people's lives are just as good, or opportunities are given. Nobody's saying you got to give away your money to everybody, but it gives you the opportunity to be able to give people wisdom to help them become where you're at, to give them open doors for them and hire them so that they can also have opportunities, to not just feed them, but teach them how to fish. These are the things that good people do when they are given something, because they know they're not here forever. They are just here for a short time. And what your legacy should be is moving the culture and the people forward, not backwards. To be better, not worse. Right? And too many people have that jealousy in their heart, and they don't want you to survive or thrive faster or further than them, not realizing that the more you help others, the more you shall receive help. If I helped someone who became a millionaire or a billionaire, I am now in a circle of a millionaire and billionaire. And if I help that person, him or her, more than likely that draft that made them wealthy is going to make me wealthy too. Because I've helped them. I've opened doors for them, which means I got the same doors. I got the same opportunity. Who cares if I'm behind them? My journey is different economically. My journey is going to take me to where I want to go. But as long as I create that draft, if you're not creating a draft, then you just stuck. And wondering, why can't I? Why can't I? Because your job is to make other people better. And as they rise, so shall you. That's the way I look at it. That sounds good, Janet. I hear that. She said, I thought about doing a video about grief because I don't see it as something that is often covered online. Mm-hmm. I always look at it, whatever you're going through in life, share it with others, because here's the thing. Oftentimes when we think we're out to help somebody, we're really helping ourselves. So if, like you said, Janet, if you want to talk about grief, first of all, it's going to be therapy for you. It's going to come off your chest. You're going to learn throughout the process, and you're going to build a family around grief, meaning like how to overcome it, or how to live in it until you overcome it. And more than likely, whomever you think that you're helping, they're going to have just as much, if not more, to offer you. Oftentimes we think we're going to lead something, and then we get into the room, we get led. But regardless, we should have an open mind, open heart, and learn. So therefore, we become wiser. Iron sharpening iron. Not, I'm the alpha, and I ain't saying you do that. But I said some people get to that, I'm the alpha shit, so I lead. No, you go in, and sometimes you're going to be led, and sometimes you're going to be the leader. And that's what it's all about. Learn when to lead and when to be led. But either way, you grow wiser. That's when you offer your wisdom to others and create economic opportunities for yourself and others. So yeah, that sounds awesome. I hope it works out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't really have, today wasn't a lot of stuff going on in the news. So I just wanted to basically share what we could do. All the other stuff about being mad about this country not paying attention, and that good people of all races, creeds, and stripes and shit like that, we need to come together and unite. Stop the division over stupid shit. They allow that to happen. Like I said, it's more about class in this situation than it is race, because like I said, these children were white kids mostly. And they weren't rich white kids. They were mostly poor white children trying to chase wealth. There was a rich white kids like the Ghislaine Maxwell who took part in it, who also thought that these poor white kids were basically trash. So we got to stand up for each other. Now, when we stand up for each other, I want us to understand something. The race, color, creed, all this stuff like that, we're all beautiful as we are. Respect each other's cultures and love each other's cultures. Listen to one another. If a person tells us something about an Irish culture, listen. Don't disrespect it. Learn from it and enjoy it, right? Don't try to colonize it. Or I ain't saying white people colonize. That's why anybody can colonize that culture. But don't try to, appropriate it. Enjoy it, right? Same with African American culture, Black culture, Asian culture, Jewish culture. We have learned so much division and hate because we've had to compete in this world of capitalistic competition and classification, like class competition, trying to prove we're the alpha of whatever culture we're in. And if anything, what we should be learning now is there's no such thing. There never was. It was created just to make one culture feel better about the shit they was about to do to another culture. And we should understand that by now. We should have evolved by now and said, we're sick and tired of that shit. That caveman mentality should be gone. And the only people that we see driving that are these white Anglo-Saxon men and these white nationalists who want to center themselves through all kinds of either power trips, murder, rape, sex trafficking, whatever it is. Not to say that other cultures aren't doing that, but I'm saying in our country, it's mostly white men. We start to figure that out now. They work with other cultures, don't get me wrong, in other countries to do their dirt. But the leaders, the head of the snake, were white men. And in this situation, he was a white Jewish man. Donald Trump, white devil. I don't know what the hell he was. He ain't a Christian. But all of them thought they were some part of master class. They were breeding with these kids, talking about they had the super gene, the white, whatever, supremacy gene. Same type of shit Donald Trump talks about. Good genes. It's too much in common with him and Epstein about good genes that you'd have to be stupid to think they aren't one and the same. Whether you can prove it or not, too many instances. And in so doing, taking off the hood, so to speak, to realize we're more alike than different. We got our own different histories. If we could just come together on issues of saying, you know what, let's make this country right. Let's do the things to make it right. So that we can start over and make this place an awesome country that we've been thriving for it to be. We have to admit the ills that we have done to this country. We must make it right with each culture that has been treated disrespectfully. We must take the power away from these white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They call them Protestants. I call them predators. And when I say that, I'm talking about, if you go look up what W.A.S.P was all about, it was all about the elite. Many people have called themselves that. But W.A.S.P was determined about the elite white people, wealthy, of class. You've had these MAGA or even poorer white people attach themselves to it. But that was the goal, to get you to believe they were talking about you while they were killing you, raping you, stealing your shit. They were only talking about themselves. And if anything we learned out of this is that the rest of us, just like Martin Luther King was saying, it needs to be all of us against them. Those who think they're better than us. Those who are spending billions of dollars a year to keep us down. If we don't wake up, we're not going to change this for ourselves. I love all races, colors, and creeds. I respect everybody's culture. I'm tired of competing with people. I don't do this shit. I don't compete with anybody. Nobody's culture. You can't tell me I'm better than this and you better than that, man. Keep that shit out of me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But if you're going to fight me, we can go ahead and fight, verbally about, oh, I'm better. I'm like, really? Then where are you better at? We have to appreciate each other's strengths, whether it's personal or culturally, and learn from one another. It's getting old to be clinging on to some 400-year-old bullshit. People thinking they're better than each other because of their race and trying to get close to a culture that don't give a fuck about you, that would sell you, that will kill your baby and throw it in a river, that will rape your children. You're trying to get close to this thing called white supremacy, and it don't give a shit about you. It will eat you and spit you out, no matter what you look like, but your economic status, whether you're white or whatever, all the way to whatever race that this country has decided was lower. And all you need is this proof. They did this to mostly white kids while telling you they gave a shit about white people. I hope people understand that in this country, black people have showed nothing but love, even in the midst of hell. We got our criminals in all of our cultures. But if anybody in this country that should hate this country, it should be black people. Yet we don't. That doesn't say anything about what's better or worse. It's literally saying, understand that we have fought for it. And there's a reason why we still fight. There's a reason why when we fight, most people follow. Because we've proven it over and over again. We've had bloodshed. We've had successes. Not because we thought we were better than anybody, because we were trying to be equal to everybody. We wanted everybody else to be equal. We wanted women to have rights. And so when we start to think like that, as a people, fighting for each other, no matter what race, color, or creed, and really focus on what considered merit. If you're good at it, then try it. I shouldn't have to put that I'm black on any application. You shouldn't have to put that you're white on any application. You should just put your name and your qualifications. Not to say that you don't claim who you are. You're going to see who I am when I get there. But you don't need to have no pre-notification so that you can adjust yourself. Think about why they even put it there to begin with. It was to classify whom they wanted to even bring in to work for. It was never meant to be a positive thing. It was always meant to be a class thing, a race thing, a separate yourself, the C's, colored people, from the white people. We need to get rid of everything that we have devised to be divisive. And when you get to see me and meet me, then you get to know me. That's the way you should want to do business or be my friend or work with me or hire me. It's how we click. Not where I was born or where I came from or what my color of my skin may be or lack thereof. If we can get there, this country will be great. Not again, for fucking once. That's greatness. What we have now is not. That's the way I feel about it. And so I look forward, to continue to pay attention to this world and come up with a solution for us. Hope the Democrats can listen to what I said earlier. I know it's a long video. Maybe I should cut it up, and just put that out there. But you guys, as well as Republicans, you need to know that America does need health care. And what I presented to you guys is fucking possible. You can't say it's not. And if Americans heard it enough, and it was promoted to Americans enough, they wouldn't be able to stop you from getting basic health care for all of us. They always want to talk about socialism and this, that, and the third. But they never tell you, you still have to pay for it. It's either on the front end to prevent it and catch it early, and it'll be cheaper, or on the back end when the person's fighting for their life and we're spending tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and sometimes millions for the person you're trying to save their life. And if they die, they can't ever pay it back. And if they're broke, they won't ever be able to pay it back. And that money goes into the pot and it's divided up the following year and our shit increases. We're going to pay for it. And that's what they won't tell you. And Democrats, I'm on to your bullshit. Republicans, I'm on to your bullshit. Insurance companies, I'm on to your bullshit. Now, Americans, you need to be on to their bullshit and fight for each other as a unit. Fuck the division. Come together and unite so that your kids can be taken care of basically for the things that could happen to them that you can't plan for. And based on your economics, you can pay for additional shit so you can feel better about yourself economically. But the basics, I don't understand how you walk into your home making $1 million a year and you can feel good about a poor family kid dying because you feel good that you can afford insurance and they can't. And there's something wrong with them inherently because they can't do what you do. We're all born with different skill sets, and not all of those things pay $1 million a year. If they're working their ass off and can't afford it, you should care. And if you don't, anybody buying your fucking product should stop so that you can start to understand why you should care. I pray you go broke just so you can feel it and then maybe get your money back when you start to heal from the hatred and division you have in your heart. The lack of empathy and sympathy so that you can learn how to live amongst humans who have feelings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. You know, this world sometimes can be harsh, and it's always a pleasure to know that people like you exist. So when you're in my room, I'm thankful to look over and see you wonderful people talking to each other, being a part of a community that gives a shit about somebody other than yourself, praying on people, donating to people when they need it, doing all the things that good human beings do. Because trust me, if the world was like you in this room, this would be a great country. Absolutely. I know it in my heart and I truly believe it. So I thank you guys for being awesome human beings and making America actually great. Not because you following me, don't get that twisted. I'm saying just because I see how you love unconditionally. That's why. And it does my heart good. And it should do your heart good too. Look at all the wonderful people in this room. And thank God they exist because they're proof that we can actually do this. It just needs to be pushed out to more people like yourself. It is what it is. You guys have a great evening. Love y'all. Be safe. I'll see you tomorrow. I was going to do it, but I'm not going to do it because we let off with love, and I'm not going to do all that F your feelings. You guys, I'll see you when I see you. Take care.